All right. Welcome to the first lesson in databases, particularly
Okay.
MySQL. Yes. So maybe
Okay.
I'll start maybe by showing a whiteboard so that maybe we get into some bit of first we get first acquainted with databases. I don't know if you know anything about databases.
No, just be database, and I've always been interested to learn it. I know that yes, you have to use MySQL. Yes, but I've always wanted to know even how to use MySQL, how to create a database, all these.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That's good. Um, so okay. So basically, databases. So basically, like a database, in short, it's just okay. So I'm sure you have seen whereby every application that you are using, people talk about databases. Maybe at work, people have said, no,
Yes.
this information is in the database. No, we need to fetch the information
Yes.
in the database. We need to save the information in the database. So it's like
Yes.
database are everywhere. In
Yes.
every system that is being used has to use some
Okay.
form of data.
Okay.
Every system that is being used, that is created, has to use some form of data, one way or another. It uses data.
Okay.
So data is
Okay.
it's just an organized collection of structured information.
Okay.
Information that is just organized properly. So in the beginning, people used the way people used to organize data, it's different to the way people organize data nowadays. People would write on piece of
Okay.
papers, keep those papers in a cabinet. Whenever
Yes.
someone is looking for information, they'll go through the cabinet, look for that information, like that.
Yes.
Other people, again, they started using Word documents, whereby you just type information in a Word document, keep them in a file, in folders, in
Yeah.
computers. It was also a
Yes.
means of storing data, but it is not a database.
Yes.
Another method is
Okay.
where people use an Excel sheet. Maybe
Okay.
you're recording information, maybe a list of users, a list of attendants. People use Excel sheets. You record, maybe you're doing a budget, you use an Excel sheet. An Excel sheet is a very good tool, but it is not a database. A database,
Okay.
an organized collection of structured information, and it's stored electronically in the computer.
Okay.
Yes. So when we talk about so another aspect of a database is that information should be easy to collect. It should be easy to
Okay.
retrieve that information. It should not be dependent on other applications. For example,
Okay.
when you store information in an Excel sheet, you cannot
Yes.
you cannot have access to that information unless you have an Excel sheet, an Excel installed on your
Yes.
computer. You see?
Yes.
Yes, so a database should be able to give you complete access into the data without dependence on any applications. So
Okay.
when you talk about that, you have a database, quite right, but you need a tool to be able to access that data. That tool comes in
Okay.
the form of a DBMS, or database management system.
Okay. I didn't get you there.
A DBMS.
Okay.
Yes, a DBMS. So a
Okay.
DBMS is a tool that you use to
Okay.
manage the database. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes. An example that I'll give is like when you create a Word document. A Word document is a
Yes.
Word document, but you can't create a Word document without using
Yes.
Microsoft Word. You're seeing, huh?
Yes.
So every time you want to
Yes.
create a Word document, you use Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is not a Word
Yes.
document. It's just an application. What
Yes.
you use Microsoft
Yes.
to create a document, which is
Yes.
just a text document. So it's the same way with the database. So you have databases. Database do not create themselves. A user creates them, and you use a tool called a
Okay.
DBMS. So
Okay.
DBMS are multiple of them. So
Okay.
I'll give an examples of DBMS.
Okay.
So one example of DBMS is MySQL.
Okay.
MySQL is one of the DBMS or database management system. So
Okay.
MySQL is free, open source, and that's why it is usually the one that is heard about mostly, because
Yes.
it is, you don't have to pay anyone to use it. Even us today, we're going to use
Okay.
it without paying anyone. You don't pay any license,
Okay.
you can use it for free.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, but it is not the only one.
Okay.
Yes, others include Microsoft SQL Server. So Microsoft have also got their own DBMS called the Microsoft SQL Server.
Microsoft SQL Server.
Yes, Microsoft SQL Server, like
Okay.
Microsoft SQL Server in short.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Microsoft SQL Server.
Okay.
And then there's also Microsoft Access. I don't know if you have heard of Microsoft Access.
Yes, I know it.
Yes,
Microsoft
yes. It
Access.
usually
But
comes with
okay.
the Microsoft. Yes. And then
Okay.
there's another option that you have is the Oracle. Oracle.
Oracle.
Yes, Oracle.
Okay.
Yes. So these
Okay.
are, so my SQL is not the only one. So usually when people talk about databases, they always talk about MySQL, but keep in
Yes.
mind that MySQL is not the only one. You might find yourself
Okay.
maybe working with another company where they say, oh, I say we use the Microsoft Access. Can you be able to use it?
Okay.
I say we use the
Okay.
Microsoft SQL Server. Can you be able to use it?
Okay.
But in the end,
Okay.
there's all these DBMS, RDBMS. They use similar syntax, meaning they speak almost the same language. They all use the SQL.
Okay.
Yes, SQL is the language that
Okay.
they use.
Okay. So it's a programming language.
Yes, that will be using. So SQL is the
Okay.
programming language, but each of them
Okay.
adopts a different kind of flavor.
Okay.
Yes, a different kind of flavor, but they all use SQL.
Okay.
Yes, yes. They all use SQL with a different kind of flavor for each of them. But
Okay.
MySQL uses SQL. Microsoft
Okay.
SQL Server uses also SQL. Oracle
Okay.
DB also uses SQL.
Okay.
Microsoft Access also uses SQL.
Okay.
Yes. I hope, I don't know if there are any questions so far.
No, I'm clear up to this stage.
They're clear? Okay.
Yeah, I'm clear.
Okay. So this RDBMS or Relational Database Management System, they keep their information. Information is structured and it's relational, meaning that one particular information is related to another, but in the same set. So you have maybe pupils relating to courses, relating also to maybe teachers, like that. So information is not independent. They relate to each other.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So we're now going to go into our RDBMS, which is MySQL.
Okay.
MySQL. Yes.
All right.
MySQL. So SQL
Okay.
is one of the most popular relational database management system, or RDBMS. So it is used by
Okay.
Facebook, it is used by Twitter, it is used by Airbnb, Uber uses it,
Okay.
YouTube also uses
Okay.
it. So a lot of people are using it. It's the it's the
Okay.
it's the back backbone of these systems. It's where information about their customers is being stored, information about payments is being stored, information about addresses of people is stored, information about employees for the companies is being stored, information about their finances is being stored. All that information is stored in the database in MySQL.
Okay.
Another part where you find where MySQL is being used are websites.
Okay.
Popular websites use MySQL.
Okay.
Yes. So we'll now go a bit we'll go a bit inside down into MySQL. So
Okay.
uh how is we'll now like maybe break down the structure of how data is stored.
Okay.
I think it's regardless of the database management system you're using, either Microsoft
Okay.
SQL or what. All of them, they store their information similar. So the way
Yes, I'm here.
databases it is that we have I'll I'll do this. So this is our database. Let's say we've got a database. Maybe
Okay.
we've got a database like that. So let's say maybe this database is for what kind of system can we give? Mm, what kind of system can we give? Okay, maybe I've got a database for what? Let's say what example can we give? Okay, maybe a store. Maybe a store. This is a
SQL.
database.
Store.
Like a store's database.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Example, just a stores database. I'll do like that. And then stores database. Okay. This is just a rough example. So in this stores database,
Okay.
I'll have to send another link shortly. So the whole database will contain what we call tables. Mhm. So here I'll have a table like that. And then
Okay.
let me make it big. Here I have a table. Here I have a table.
Okay.
And maybe another table. Let's say 3 tables, just for example. So
Okay.
this is inside this table, there will be rows
Okay.
like that. These tables will be similar to the tables that we have in Excel,
Okay.
rows and columns like that.
Okay.
Yes, with rows and columns. Like that. So even these ones will be the same. They also have rows and columns. The number of rows and columns may be different from table to table, but all we know is that a database of rows and columns.
Okay.
Yes. And even this one. We also have rows and columns. So these tables similar to the ones we have in Excel. So let's say maybe, for example, the first table can have what we call maybe products. We have products.
Okay.
This is a store where people sell things, products.
Yes.
The other table can have what's this? Can have inventory.
Okay.
So this one, is it inventory? Let's say maybe payments. We'll say payments.
Okay.
And then this one can have maybe invoice, like that. Invoice.
Okay.
So this is just a rough example of a database. So this whole thing is a database. In here, this table, it has got rows and columns. Information that is in this table is only related to products. That's all.
Okay.
Products alone. In this other table, it's only payments alone. In this other table, it's only invoices alone. So when someone is adding products into our database, those products will go into the product table. When a new product comes in and we want to add it in our system, it goes into the products. When someone buys something from our store, we put a record in our payment as a new row. So the way it happens that each column here, let me reduce this. Each column represents a particular attribute of this table. Maybe we can have an ID.
Okay.
And then we also have name. And maybe we can also have category. Like that. And then maybe we can also have maybe what other attribute can we have for a product? Maybe, we'll think about it later. In the payment, we can also have an ID. We can also have amount. We can have maybe customer, to track the customer who made the payment. We can also have date. We can also have maybe type of transaction. Maybe someone made the payment using mobile money. Maybe someone made the payment using cash.
Okay.
We may need to track that.
Okay.
But depending on attributes that we have, it will detect what we're using. In the invoice, we can also have ID for an invoice. We can also have a date. And then we can also have maybe a salesperson, a user ID, the person who created that invoice. We also have maybe the reference number. All invoices have that thing called reference number. And then maybe if this system is maybe across different stores, we can also indicate which store it is at. So depending on the use cases of what we're doing. But I'm just wanted to give you a brief example of how data is stored. So now it means that when you've got a new record, which is a product, we have to put it in here. A new record, which is a payment, you have to put.
Okay.
You cannot put them together. Mm. And
Okay.
another thing that you notice is that this data, they may be connected to each other. Because in the invoice, you might want to specify what product
Okay.
was bought. You think, huh?
Yes.
We may need to specify. So
Yes.
it might be a record here to say, oh, the product that was bought was the product one.
Yes.
And then because of the reason why I've separated invoice and payments is because there might be multiple payments made against one invoice. So if you put this information for the invoice in the payment, you'll be duplicating most of this data. Because if there are 10 payments against one invoice, meaning you have to repeat all the information
Okay.
for this invoice for all those 10 invoices to be putting the payments. But when you
Yes.
separate them, you save on data.
Yes.
So you make sure that
Okay.
the tables only contain data that they need. So that is how a database is structured.
Okay.
A database is made of tables.
Okay.
Those tables are made of rows and columns. And each one
Okay.
with a name, which is an attribute of that thing that is that you're dealing with. I hope
Hmm.
that is clear. I don't know if there are any questions so far.
No, I'm clear up to that stage.
Okay. Has it finished downloading?